Hello everyone, welcome back to MLS Moves. Please make sure you like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Before we get to the video, I'd like to thank you all for your support and remind you that we're doing a jersey giveaway when we hit 3,000 subscribers. 3,000 subscribers is our goal to reach by the end of this month, so make sure you subscribe, stay subscribed, follow me on Twitter at MLS Moves for the latest up-to-dates on the giveaway. Now, on to the video. So today we got an article by Paul Tenorio breaking down the new rules that were just voted on by the Board of Governors in the MLS meeting that took place on Tuesday in LA. On the surface, this is what Paul Tenorio said in his tweet. MLS is set to make some changes to roster rules for the summer window. The first thing is an option of 3 DPs and 3 U22s, or 2 DPs, 4 U22s, and $2 million in general allocation money. You also get 2 buyouts per season, and when you sell a player, you're able to convert a maximum of $3 million of that into GAM, which is general allocation money, in case some of you guys don't know, on transfer revenue for the year. Now, first of all, I want to start off with the U22 rule that was recently changed. Under the new rules, teams can either have 3 DPs and 3 U22 players, or they can have 2 DPs, 4 U22 players, plus $2 million in general allocation money. This change offers greater flexibility to MLS teams building their rosters while also guaranteeing them 6 spots to use on typically more established talents such as DPs and rising prospects, which are U22s. The way the roster worked previously was you could only have 3 U22 spots used if you only had 2 DP spots and left the third one open, or if that third DP spot didn't make more than $1.6 million a year. As you guys can see, that's confusing. It seems like MLS is putting up roadblocks that are unnecessary, creating more confusion, and getting in their own way, which they're known to do. This rule will allow teams to, obviously sign 3 DPs and 3 U22s without any type of limitations. But if you are to sign 2 DPs, and leave that third spot open, you can sign 4 U22s, and that $2 million in GAM will help teams be able to build a deeper roster. Inter Miami, for example, they've only got 2 true DPs signed right now. Campana is a third DP, but he can be bought down. They also have 4 U22s on the roster, but Facundo Farias is hurt right now. He's on IR, so they're only actually using 3 on the active roster. Miami, with this rule, and it taking place halfway through the summer, they will have $1 million in GAM because it's the halfway point, not a full season to use the 2 GAM. They will only have $1.1 million in GAM available to them. The $2 million in GAM is for the full season. Since this will be taking place in the summer or halfway point, only half the resources will be available to them. This will help them be able to build a deeper roster. $1 million in GAM is crucial for a league that only has a $5.5 million salary cap, if I'm not mistaken. This will help them build a deeper roster and be able to use more resources. Another team like LAFC, this could help. LAFC has had several occasions where they haven't filled that third DP spot and they've left it open because they're U22 players. This will help them a lot in case they decide to either sign a second DP, or if they want to sign sign an extra U22 instead. This could help give them some flexibility. This is a little underwhelming, I'm going to be honest with you, but there's not much you can do when you're making moves or making changes halfway through the season. There's limitations. This does help a little bit. I don't think it pushes the needle nearly enough, honestly. I'm honestly a little disappointed, but, I didn't really have high expectations to begin with any changes, so I guess it's better than nothing. The next thing is the 2 buyouts per season. In MLS, it's harder to move off of players because even if you loan them out, even if you trade them, a lot of times these players' salary cap hit will stay on the original team's books, which makes it a little harder to acquire new talent if there's a player that they're trying to get rid of. Now, instead of just having the 1 buyouts per season, which had to take place before the season, now you have 2 buyouts per season. So if there's a player that's lackluster, that's not producing, that you want to just cut ties with and get rid of, it's nice that you can actually buy them out and not have to have them on the books anymore. One player that comes to mind is with LAFC, Mario Gonzalez. He has been very underwhelming last year when he signed. They loaned him out to a club in Spain this year. Obviously, LAFC would like to part ways with him. Now they can buy him out. They can get rid of him, get him off the books, free up that salary, make some other acquisitions this summer now with that money. This is something that definitely will help It'd be nice to see more buyouts, honestly. I honestly think there should be no limitation to buyouts, because if the team is willing to spend the money to buy their contract out, why would you? I mean, it's not coming out of the league's pocket. Why would you limit what they can spend to buy a player out of their deal? But two's better than one. Take the win while you can. I think that this is definitely better than what it was before. And the third thing is the GAM and the additional GAM from selling a player. Now, originally, if you sold a player, if I'm not mistaken, you were allotted $1.2 million from that transfer fee to transfer into GAM, general allocation money, that you could spend throughout the roster. Now they're increasing it up to $3 million in GAM, which obviously, like I said earlier, when you have limited resources in MLS, this will help you be able to build a better quality roster, help spread the money throughout the roster to build better depth. If you sell players, which there are a lot of clubs that are selling clubs in MLS these days, especially like LAFC and more specifically the Chicago Fire. The Chicago Fire have had close to $40 million in transfer fees they've made in the last 3 years. So this will help a club like that, who are able to put that money back into the roster rather than just $1.2 million in GAM, which honestly doesn't do much. This is more than half the salary cap. So this is going to help build the depth and reward teams for selling players. Now, $3 million is the max. So you're not able to convert any more than that, even if you do sell numerous players, or, like I said, Chicago Fire had sold 3 players for $40 million in total. This is the max you can do, but I consider this a win. It's definitely better than $1.2 million. So, you're doubling what it was before, and it's also half of what the salary cap is. This will help teams, especially if they have the $2 million in GAM from the 4 U22s and the 2 DPs, and they sell a player. We're talking about $5 million more in GAM per season, which is crazy. I mean, that definitely could help. Not what I would consider to be super ambitious, but you got to take the small wins in MLS. Like you all know, they normally disappoint when it comes to expectations. So you got to take this as a win, because they're at least doing something rather than nothing and sitting on their hands. Now, I would like to see some more moves this coming winter in 2025. I would like to see a little bit more ambition. I'd like to see them change a couple other things, maybe add a couple more DP spots, add some more GAM, maybe like double that, maybe $5 to $6 million in GAM to spread throughout the roster. I don't think anybody's asking for anything too crazy. No one realistically is expecting them to get rid of the salary cap. Nobody's expecting them to raise the salary cap to $60 million or $50 million. Fans just want the salary cap to be raised to a reasonable amount to where you could build a quality roster to compete with other leagues around the world. Now, the EPL, I think, the top clubs are spending, their payroll is $200 million. I'm not even expecting that. You can build a good, solid team for around $20 to $30 million. Now, obviously, there's some players that inflate that in MLS because their salaries are $7 to $15 million. Messi's making a report of $50 million. That's an outlier. I'm talking about $20 to $30 million to build the core of this team. You can build a very formidable team, a good roster that can compete. And I think that once you get to that mark, that's when we'll start talking about MLS being in that top 8 leagues in the world debate or discussion. But until then, this might move us closer to Liga MX. I still would like to see more than this. One other thing I'd like to see them do is I would like to see them increase the international roster spots. I know that the green cards help out with that, but it would be nice to see the number go from 8 to 10 at least. I think 10 is a reasonable amount of international spots for a club, especially when we're talking about how many international players come to MLS. I think that would help move the needle and also help get more talent in the league. That's another small change I'd like to see. I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section. Were you guys surprised by this? Was this underwhelming? Or did you agree with this? Do you think this is enough with when they made these changes? At what time of the season? What would you like to see change? Please make sure you like this video down below. Comment down below. Share with a friend. Hit that little bell notification so you never miss a video. And until next time, I will see you all soon.